Butch Miles. Through decades of playing with the biggest names in jazz and popular music, Butch Miles has earned the reputation as one of the country's most dynamic drummers for both his solid groove and his explosive solos. His career is bookended by stints with the Count Basie Orchestra, and in between, he played and recorded with everyone from Sinatra, Brubeck, and Ella Fitzgerald to Benny Goodman, Tony Bennett, Zubin Mehta, and Itzhak Perlman. Butch was born in Ironton, Ohio on July 4th, 1944, while his mother was visiting relatives in Kentucky. He spent his early years in Hinton, but by school age, he had moved to Charleston, where he attended grade school and high school. He took up the snare drum at age 9 and joined the school band. At age 15, he began studying the trap kit with veteran Charleston drummer Frank Thompson. To this day, Butch credits Thompson with teaching him both the essential musical rudiments and a work ethic that has served him well throughout his career. He continued to hone his style at after-hours jams at clubs like the Shalimar and Crazy Horse, where out-of-town musicians would gather after their scheduled performances. Soon, Butch joined the Musicians Union and began playing with local dance bands, including Jules Michaud's group and the Monterey's. He also majored in music at West Virginia State College and graduated with a Bachelor of Arts degree. But when he was asked to join the Iris Bell Trio, he felt he had reached the pinnacle of music in his hometown.
Let it move, let it groove, something else.
Iris's group played throughout the eastern U.S. for a year before settling in Ann Arbor, Michigan, where a 2-week engagement at the popular Rubaiyat Supper Club turned into a 7-year residency. Then, feeling a restlessness that's driven him throughout his career, Butch left Iris's band and began to freelance. One thing led to another, and before long, he was playing with the great Mel Torme. From there, another round of referrals, including one from Buddy Rich, led to Butch joining Count Basie's group, a dream come true. In 1975, he was hired to fill in for a week and a half and stayed for 4.5 years. Buck Clayton, the legendary Basie trumpeter and arranger, said, "Miles fits the band better than anyone since Papa Joe Jones left." In 1979, his restlessness returned. In Butch's words, "I was looking for something a little different." Then, right on cue, he received a call from Dave Brubeck. Butch jumped at the chance to play with another master musician he had listened to his entire life. Brubeck's band was smaller and left room for more improvisation. Butch left Brubeck's band to go with the Broadway show Swing, about the history of swing music. It never got off the ground and was one of the only career moves he's ever second-guessed. But when the show folded, he landed a year-long gig with Tony Bennett. Next came another round of freelancing with Lena Horne, Ella Fitzgerald, and Frank Sinatra. In 1996, Grover Mitchell, who had led the Basie band since the Count's death in 1984, called. Butch felt the time wasn't right, but when he called a year later, Butch returned and played with the group for a decade. In 2007, Butch retired from the Basie band. His last gig was at the Hollywood Bowl as part of the Playboy Jazz Festival, and yes, Hugh Hefner was there. Butch's career has been nothing short of phenomenal, a testimony to his talent, drive, and work ethic. He's performed at every major jazz festival in the world, toured Europe, Australia, the Far East, the Americas, and the Caribbean. He's appeared on 60 Minutes, The Tonight Show with Johnny Carson, The Merv Griffin Show, The Dick Cavett Show, and The Mike Douglas Show. He's also appeared in 3 motion pictures: the Australian Jazz Fest while he was touring with the Dave Brubeck Quartet, The Last of the Blue Devils while touring with Count Basie Orchestra, and in Woody Allen's Crimes and Misdemeanors. Butch continues to perform and now teaches at Texas State University, where he has a chair on the faculty. Butch Miles.